The Vols are back.
Oh, well, this has been a week. We knew this time was coming. As Vol fans, we all knew that there was going to be a time in which this day would come. I just didn't expect it to be so soon. The Tennessee Volunteers softball team has beaten the Oklahoma Sooners. Let's go!
Yay!
Hell yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, baby. Softball team upsets Oklahoma, and baseball team gets a series sweep over South Carolina. What an incredible week for Vol Sports.
This is the
incredible
greatest week. We can do this Tennessee program can do no wrong. No wrong at all.
Sir.
At
everything school, buddy. Everything school.
Okay, anyway. Oi, fellow comrades. It is Squidtard here along with my boys, Mr. Lucas Sharp and Mr. Julio Rodriguez, and welcome to another episode of the Vol Star Podcast. We're on episode 85 of this show. We made it a long way, and we'll hopefully make it a lot longer with a whole lot more pain in store. What a painful week. What a painful Sunday, specifically for Tennessee Nation. I think we all sort of felt the same way, and I guess the streak lives on. We single-handedly got the defibrillator out and revived the Kentucky fan base, so glad to see them back in full force. Now, we still did beat you, granted, but you can hang your hat on the banner saying we watched Tennessee get beat by another team. So, but anyway, congratulations, great job, good work. Other than that, how are my co-hosts doing tonight?
Actually, I'm doing pretty well. Besides, of course, the basketball team losing. Today wasn't actually that bad. I mean, what can I say? Mostly all I do is work now. I don't do anything exciting nowadays, so I ain't able to climb Mount Everest. I ain't able to go up to space or meet Elon Musk on Mars or anything like that.
I bet. Julio, what about you, buddy? What are you doing?
The typical day, but seem to be more happier than usual. Probably just because the hilarious Twitter space that I just got out of like an hour ago. But
yeah, not gonna lie, my day, that brightened my day a whole lot more was those Twitter spaces and all these memes people have been putting out. Incredible stuff.
Right. For context, for the rest of you who may not know this, Vol Twitter's a shithole. Now we all know that. Of course, that's not shocking. That'd be like saying the sky's blue. You know what I mean? But something big and important happened over there over the course of today, and there is a Vol Twitter handle which was a girl, and it was a hot girl. So naturally, a lot of the simps of the Vol Twitter space were like, "Oh my gosh, oh female." So we had a bunch of Nimrods in our fan base and outside of our fan base fell for the bait and started simping and getting catfished by this female, not a female. So naturally, once we all figured out that it was actually not a female, a lot of people were big mad about it. And the person behind it actually deleted their account, so we'll never know. We'll never know who it was.
Yeah, that was I actually might start going in Twitter Spaces again. That was the greatest Twitter Space I have ever been in. That it was absolutely hilarious, and it's hilarious how it seems like some of these people act like they've never seen a woman in their life, bro.
Speaking of which, did you ever record? Did anybody get that on recording? Had to be somebody who got that on recording.
Yeah, somebody had to have.
Yeah, I think Astro said he recorded the space.
Good.
So if you go to Astro Smokey's thing, I think it's recorded.
We'll have to watch that. That's hilarious. Anyway, that aside, people getting catfished aside, which is a common occurrence nowadays. We do have a lot to talk about tonight on the show. We've got a few Florida fans I know coming on here on the Volstar podcast later on. So we're gonna try and get the good news out of the way first. I guess the first good news above all else is that people are watching this show. So let's give a special shout out to them. Let's see who's in the comments. Mr. Young Man Connor, Matt Dummit, don't call me Doomit, damn it. Goob, Preeton, Rocky, Even Odd, Jemai Mashak Stan. Are you still staying him after Sunday? I mean, I would. He's a good guy. Let's see. Levi Hazel. Are you going to talk about the MLB? We do not, because the Vols don't play in the MLB. At least not yet.
Yeah, they will, especially with how the Braves are doing as of late. They got freaking swept by the Padres. Yeah. But I know Squid probably don't care about that because they don't watch the MLB.
Yeah. Polly Walnuts, do the Vols have a hockey team? We do, but it's a club sport not recognized by the NCAA. And sooner than later, nothing's going to be recognized by the NCAA because of our first topic for today. We're actually going to touch on the football stuff first. And this is something that happened earlier this week, and I thought it was rather hilarious for a lot of reasons, but it doesn't really pertain to Tennessee too much, but it does have some relevance in the Tennessee football cycle. So, former Tennessee football coach and high school gym teacher now, Mr. Jeremy Pruitt. It's like saying Voldemort. Like, holy shit. What? Why would you say that? But anyway, he's filed a lawsuit against the NCAA seeking $100 million in damages. First of all, before I continue with anything else, I want to go ahead and throw this out there. We need to be suing you for what the product you put on the field while you were here.
Exactly.
But anyway, the lawsuit filed in DeKalb, Alabama, alleges that the NCAA conspired with the University of Tennessee to make Pruitt a, quote, sacrificial lamb for recruiting violations that occurred before and during his tenure. So that's basically, right before anything else, that's basically a subtle jab at Tennessee, from Jeremy Pruitt, saying that before he got there, that Tennessee was cheating and buying players before he got there.
Dude, Jeremy Pruitt needs to freaking stop. He needs to let it go, man. It's ridiculous. There's no way he wins this case, right? There's no way.
Well, Dad, but also, I mean, the thing is, he can get back into coaching, can he? He's just going to serve whatever the thing they gave him, which was, what was it, 5 or 7 year thing where he can coach?
Yeah, as Levi Hazel said, just put the fries in the bag, Pruitt. Just put the fries in the bag.
I mean, here's the other thing, though. I mean, he can still coach or be a gym teacher or anything like that. Also, I mean, it ain't like he's poor.
Well, he's got a show.
At least I hope
he's got
not,
a show cause that keeps him from coaching majorly for the next 5 to 6 years.
I mean, that's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about, the show cause or whatever. That's what I was talking about with the 5 or 6 year thing. But what I was saying though is he should be good on money unless he's in crippling gambling debt or something. Maybe he's plays too many parlays or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so a few more things about the lawsuit. Pruitt contends a few things, and one of them is that, of course, like I mentioned, that Tennessee, there was pre-existing violations before he got there. He informed then athletic director Philip Fulmer about ongoing player payments that predated his hiring. So, again, subtle jab. I mean, that's not so subtle jab there at Tennessee, saying that we cheated before he got there.
Dude, don't take anything from a guy who didn't even know what asparagus was.
Right. And if that's the case, Pruitt, the NCAA has been investigating us for 900 years. How have they not figured that out yet? If that is the case.
Yeah, I don't know. It's insane, but literally, like everybody's saying in the comments, he lost to Georgia freaking State. I don't know. Even when Jeremy Pruitt cheated, he literally could not beat Georgia State, and he lost to Kentucky at home, I believe.
Ouch.
But when we lost to Kentucky at home, when was the last time we lost to them at home? Like 1980 something, 1970
you gotta
something.
probably go back before then.
Yeah, I think it was 1984, like 1976, somewhere along that line.
I would imagine so, because exactly. I mean, there's no reason for you to be losing to Kentucky. We freaking own them. That's kind of what got Butch Jones fired, because he lost to freaking Kentucky. Like, when you lose to Kentucky with Tennessee, that basically puts you on the hot seat.
Well, but should have put him on the hot seat is that loss to Georgia State. To Georgia State. That should have put him there on the hot seat right then and there.
Also, that choke job of a coaching thing against BYU.
Oh yeah, losing to them, as Uncle Lou would say, Tennessee got manhandled by the Mormons.
Anyway, so that's what's going on in football this week. Of course, spring practices are going on too, and we need to figure out really soon if we're going to the spring game or not.
Oh, I already called off work for that day.
I guess we're going then. All right, we're gonna get tickets for it after the show. Probably, we'll see. They're pretty cheap, so I don't have to.
Yeah. So is Steph's wanting to go?
Yeah. First of all, Julio, turn off your 1920s walkie-talkie. Sorry. What did you say, Lucas?
Oh, I was saying, is Steph's wanting to go?
I'll talk to him about it, and I bet he will. So we'll grab tickets for him too.
I know my brother wants to go.
Yeah, I bet. Well, we'll figure that out after the show, and hopefully we'll get a vlog going too. Anthony, I see you there in the back room, buddy. We'll let you on after we're finished talking about the baseballs. Let's talk about that, shall we? So the baseball team, another successful week for them. Obviously, we're no longer undefeated, but that doesn't mean we're not worthy of the #1 spot, and we proved that with a sweep versus South Carolina. Absolute destruction. Beat them 11-7, 7-5, and 7-2 in the series. And it's another big-time sweep for the Tennessee Volunteers. And something tells me that's going to continue as the season progresses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on, let me turn this on.
Yeah. So I think the next couple of games seem easy. Actually, funny enough, I know this is going to sound hilarious, but I'm actually more worried about the Tennessee Tech game than I am the A&M game.
I mean, I can understand why we keep losing. For some reason, we lose to Tennessee mid-major teams.
Yeah. So I feel kind of weird about the Tennessee Tech game, but the A&M game, unless A&M magically turns into their self from last season, I just don't see them beating us. I don't even think they'll even get a game out of this.
Oh yeah, no.
I would be surprised if they did.
Right.
I would be very surprised.
Yeah, I don't know how. Texas A&M, they are still somehow too highly ranked in the new poll.
And then I think after that, I think we play Alabama State, and then I think Ole Miss. Ole Miss is kind of a weird one after that, but that's way too far from now.
Yeah. Yeah, Ole Miss, they're an okay team. I mean, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Yeah, really, like I said, they're the only 3 game, I think the series that I'm somewhat somewhat nervous about with the baseball team is the Ole Miss series because I feel like Ole Miss could play a good series and possibly beat us. But the other ones is LSU and Arkansas. We always seem to play bad against Arkansas in
Well,
baseball.
yeah.
LSU is a different one.
We'll have plenty of time to discuss that in future shows, especially now that the basketball season's coming to a close for us. So, but before that, before we start crashing out here, Julio again with the mic, dude. Oh my gosh! Please invest in a new pair of headphones.
I'm gonna get a snow. I'm actually just gonna probably just buy a fucking snowball mic.
Or that, please. Please, thank you. Anyway, so like we mentioned at the start of the show, this is a momentous moment in softball history. We talked about this last week, didn't we? Tennessee goes out and loses the series to Arkansas, and immediately here come all these Tennessee fans. Fire ass! Fire ass! Fire ass! And the whole ordeal. We gotta fire the players too. How do you fire a player, Nimrod? But that aside, that doesn't matter anymore because those same people are now praising the great Karen Weekly because guess what? Tennessee went on the road into Norman, faced off against the number 2 team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners. And we all know how dominant Oklahoma is in softball. And Tennessee went in there and won the series. We won the series against Oklahoma. Won the first game 5-2. And we lost 1-4. And then we came out and won the last one 5-3. So, yeah, the same people who are on the train are now all the way back on the Tennessee softball train. You know, the sky's the limit. The season's not over. You get the whole ordeal. It's over. It's back. It's over. It's back. It's over.
Yeah, that basically describes most Tennessee athletics in a nutshell, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Also, I think that's the second or third time they've lost in Norman since like 2006, a home series. So that's very, very rare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, great performance overall. Do you guys know who we face next?
I cannot remember. I can look it up really quick.
It doesn't matter. Point is, it's a great win for Tennessee softball. We'll hope they continue that dominance over the rest of the season. And like I said, we'll have plenty of time to talk about them. All right. It's about time we bring this up. Oh, boy. I guess, which one do we want to go to first? I guess we'll start with the Lady Vols.
Yeah, start with the Lady Vols.
Since, them, where they are, they exceeded expectations. So, the Lady Vols, of course, won in the first 2 rounds, won in the round of 32 against Ohio State, went into a Sweet 16 matchup against the Texas Longhorns, and as we all know, Texas is a number 1 seed, and we know our success against 1 seed. So naturally, despite a great effort from our Vols, Tennessee unfortunately fell short against the Longhorns. So it was a tough run. And I'll say this before anything else, forget about the loss for a second. What a year for Kim Caldwell. I mean, really, what a year. This has been a phenomenal year for the Lady Vols. And to do this in year 1, get to the Sweet 16, beat UConn for the first time in over 15 years, doing stuff like that already proves that Coach Kim is worthy of getting her contract extension, which is what she got. Coach Kim has agreed to a contract extension going through the 2030 season, so we've at least got her in Knoxville for the next 5 years, and she deserves it. She's been kicking ass, and something tells me she's going to kick a whole lot more ass before she's said and done. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? She's took over this team really well, and of course, I know Tennessee, especially with the women's basketball team, it's not going to be hard to rebuild this program because, I mean, we're a blue blood and we're basically the standard when it comes to women's college basketball. It's not going to be hard to rebuild a team like Tennessee. But Kim Caldwell, I think, has done a pretty good job in her first season. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna come on here and brag about quality losses and stuff like that. But basically, all of our losses came within like single digits, and to all really good teams.
Yeah,
Oh,
except Georgia's kind of really the only weird
oh
loss
yeah,
because of
Georgia. Oh yeah, Georgia. I forgot about them. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually excited for next season. This is one of the few times I'm actually excited about women's basketball heading into next season because we got a top one, I think the number one overall recruiting class coming in for our women's team. And I think we have a really good chance to be a top 10 team next year. I really do.
I could definitely see it. We were a top 15 team this year. So, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean that's practically how I feel about it too. I mostly just wanted to beat Ohio State because, like I've said before on here, got Ohio State family. It's always fun to beat them.
Right.
So, but really, I feel like the reason we lost to Texas was Texas's two guards. They just kept on blowing past us in the lane. I just feel like we need better defenders on the perimeter or faster perimeter defenders. I feel like that's really the only thing that held this team back was that the guards just weren't fast enough to cover Texas's guards. Other than that, I feel like we played well, and we just and sometimes and this is a little bit of a criticism, but I feel like sometimes she doesn't ride the hot hand and she kind of pulls them out too fast, which I know it's a thing of her system to do the big hockey subs or whatever. But I feel like if someone's, on a tear and hitting all these threes, I feel like you probably shouldn't sub them out. That's just me though.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're right on the money there. But yeah, all that said, it's going to be. Something tells me it's going to be a great time under Kim Caldwell, and obviously we can't promise that she's going to have near the same success as Pat Summitt did, but if she even gets close, I'd consider her a successful head coach. But we'll be rooting for Kim Caldwell as her career progresses.
Yeah, she's already doing better than Kelly Harper.
There's that. I'll say this: I was wrong, and people are going to point this out because I made a big fuss last year right before we fired her, saying this is a stupid idea by a bunch of dummies on Vol Twitter saying, like shut up.
Yeah.
Which is true. They need to shut up. But, I was under the belief that firing Kim Caldwell would result in immediate collapse, but that's not what happened. We made a great hire.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When they was actually saying fire her, not gonna lie, I was actually signing with Vol Nation because, listen, I mean, I know Kelly Harper, she wasn't a terrible coach, but like Tennessee women's basketball, we are literally like the standard. We are a blue blood program. We're basically like Alabama football or like Duke basketball or UCLA men's basketball, or like LSU baseball. We need to be we. It's expected for us to be like at the top, like every single year in women's basketball. And Kelly Harper, she wasn't doing that. Mm-hmm. She wasn't. And like literally, Kalen DeBoer, there's already some Bama fans that want him gone because he's not doing that great at Bama right now. And you best believe that if the Kalen DeBoer, if he doesn't make the playoffs, I don't think he'll be fired, but he'll probably be on the hot seat. He'll probably be on the hot seat entering soon if he doesn't make the playoffs this upcoming season.
Okay, Fiverr Rash? You're telling me we got Fiverr Rash? We got a Fiverr Rash?
Yeah. That'll probably be what it's like in Tuscaloosa if they don't make it this year.
Yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, Kalen DeBoer might get fired if they don't make the playoffs.
They are not firing him for that. But if they did, I'd be on here laughing harder than I laughed when they lost to Michigan. I'll say that much. But all that being said, the point here is that the Lady Vols are under a possible history of future success with Kim Caldwell. We'll be looking, we'll be looking forward to whatever continues onward with her. All right, now we got to do it, boys. Unfortunately, we have to talk about it. So let's get the good news out of the way first. So the men's basketball team, we weren't able to talk about we were not able to talk about this, but Friday night we went up against the 3 seed Kentucky Wildcats, and well, we did put the whooping on them.
Pick up your shovel and get back to the coal mines, baby. Go Big Orange.
And we did. We absolutely destroyed Kentucky. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even a competition. And we outright dominated them. And so we had to watch as Kentucky fans immediately went to the cuck chairs and and brought out their Houston flags. Woo! And that's exactly what they did. And it worked out well for them because guess what? Right when the Elite Eight rolled around, guess what happened? The usual problems. The usual issues. And I can't tell you guys enough. The semblance of this game to the Ohio State College Football Playoff game from a bunch of months ago. Because we come out with a piss-poor, pathetic offensive effort. They punch you in the mouth for it. You do the exact same thing in the second half, and despite a comeback effort, you get dominated. You get flat-out dominated throughout the entire game, and that's exactly what happened. Houston was the better team. They played like the better team. They weren't perfect, but they were definitely way better, miles better than Tennessee was. And I think we can agree on that.
Yeah. I mean, I was doing a space shortly after the game, and I kind of practically said all I wanted to say about it there, but I guess I'll reiterate some of it. But I don't. Why were we just keep on throwing up 3-point shots when we couldn't make them? Like, why? Why are we doing that? Like, I understand some people are like, well, you couldn't drive into the lane or anything, but heck, whenever we were driving into the lane, we were at least getting free throws. But here's the other thing: we couldn't even make the free throws.
Exactly.
Like,
Right. Well,
like how much more can you shoot yourself in the foot? Like, just
living and
only
dying
score
by the
50?
living and dying by the 3 makes sense when you're actually good at making the 3. But here we go. Fire the 3. Fire the 3. Fire the 3. Fire the 3. You know what it is? Bubble screen. Bubble screen. Bubble screen. Bubble screen. Hey, coach. That's not working. We gotta try something else. Bubble screen. Like, it's that all over again. You can't make it up. It's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing every single time and expecting a different result. There was no magic fairy of 3-pointers that was going to magically come and abracadabra, shit on my ass. Like, there wasn't going to be a magical fairy that comes and automatically makes you start shooting threes. There was never a scenario where that was happening.
Yeah.
Also, here's another thing. Anytime we face anyone that has even a slightly above average big man, we absolutely get manhandled by them. Can we please get someone that can defend the paint consistently? It is driving me insane.
I'm sorry, but that's Rick Barnes. He don't want to go out and get a big man.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I love Rick Barnes, but good Lord, can you please get a good big man?
Can you please get a big man? Yeah, go reach. Hey, go ping the AD like everybody else is doing. Tell him, hey, can we get a big man?
Well, I mean, I was saying this in the space. I said, screw it. Let's just do what BYU did and just pay the top center in the country to come here.
Right. All right. Well, before we continue, Julio. There is something that I would like to do. Now it's about to get a little crowded in here. We haven't done this before. We haven't let this many guests in at once, but we're gonna do things a little differently today. So in the back room, when they're about to join, I have 3 different Florida fans on. Yes, 3 different Florida fans coming on here on the show tonight. It's going to be half Tennessee, half Florida. I figured I'd let the Gators and the Gator fans have a chance to tell us all about their Final Four appearance and whatever else they want to talk about.
Yeah.
Tried reaching out to an Auburn fan, but as per Auburn against Tennessee, they didn't want to show up. So
yeah. Please tell us what making the Final Four is like, considering we might not ever make one.
All right, well, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring him on one by one. So here he's been waiting in the back room for a while now. I'm gonna bring him on. Y'all know him here on YouTube as the Almighty Squid Lord, but he also goes as my good friend Anthony Z. How's it going, buddy?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Wow, it's weird to be in a room full of Tennessee fans. But what I will say is it was nice making the Final Four. It's a nice feeling. I sure hope y'all can feel it one day. This is a very, very nice feeling. To be fair, though, I'll be fair. I don't really remember our last Final Four appearance very well. I mean, it was all the way back in 2014, so this is a very new experience for me, too.
Enjoy it. That's all I can say.
I will.
All right, next up here on the panel, we're going to bring him in, another Florida fan I know, one of my good buddies that I've known for a long, long time. He's been in many, many of my live streams. I'm talking about none other than my boy Ryan. What's going on, Ryan?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. How do you feel about Final Four?
Well, I feel largely the same way Anthony does. This is kind of the first season I've largely paid a majority of attention to Florida basketball games. I've followed some loosely in the past, but nothing like this. The feeling is surreal.
Right.
I probably screamed louder at that point in the Texas Tech game than maybe any point I did last year in football, even though, we had some good wins, but still.
Okie dokie then. Well, our last guy in the panel, another good buddy I know. Crazy how we're, just getting a bunch of Florida buddies I know on here, but they're all great people. And again, I've known this guy for a long time. He's been on a few of my live streams. One of the craziest people I know. And I'm sure he has many, many fun takes about the Florida Gators. None other than my boy, John Vaughters. How's it going, buddy? Incredible. BB.
Yeah, I think we can all agree.
Yeah, real good insight, John.
Sorry, I was trying to do something. I apologize.
Yeah, you need to stop doing something and do this.
But I am doing good. How are you, Squidtard?
I'm doing. Thanks for the name drop. Everybody knows my name already, but thank you very much for that. But yeah, no, we're all doing great on here, and as you can tell, this is a full panel we got here. 3 Tennessee fans, 3 Florida fans. I thought I'd let you guys on here and tell us all about how your Final Four appearances, because as you can tell, we know Jack Diddley Doodah squat about that. 116 so years, and we just still can't get over our own head. Now, granted, Rick Barnes has taken us to a place where, we can be happy with where we are. An elite, 2 back-to-back Elite 8 appearances, I think for the first time in program history.
Yep.
It's really hard to complain about that. But, the problem is that it feels like there is a real sort of ceiling with Rick Barnes. And I'm not calling for him to, get fired or retire or anything like that. If it were up to me, I would keep him around. But I do want to hear everyone else's take on that. Do you think, and I guess we'll go around the room, Lucas, do you think Rick Barnes should stay or go?
For now, I just say he should stay until he wants to go. I mean, he's the greatest coach in Tennessee basketball history. He's taken us to back-to-back Elite Eights for the first time in program history. I mean,
yeah.
Julio, we've had some really good seasons under him, so might as well just keep him until he wants to go.
Julio, what about you, buddy?
Okay, so here's the thing. On one hand, I can see one to keep him, but on one hand, I can also see one to firing him.
Fire
But
blast.
the thing is that you can't just fire him just because he keeps on losing in the Elite Eight or whatever. You need to at least have a good idea of who you want to hire, which is what I think Danny will do if he ever fires him, which I don't think he will. But I'm just saying if he does, you need to have like a short list of who you want to get, and at least know they're interested in the job and would take it. That's just how I feel, but at least for how I feel about Rick Barnes, I feel like his ceiling is probably the Elite Eight. Um, maybe I'm wrong, and he proves me wrong. But right now, I just kind of see him as basketball Mike Martin. I don't know if any of y'all know who that is, but that's the Florida State baseball head coach that made Omaha like 20 times but never won it.
Pain.
Like, so that's just kind of how I see him. Like, I think he's a great person, but ultimately his teams kind of just stumble at the last block. Like they just stumble at the last moment every time.
Yeah, it's something that really makes you go. Sorry, I had to drop that.
It scared me. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not the first person that said that, which is funny. Okay, now I do want to. I guess I'll just ask the 3 Florida fans in here your guys' take. What do you think? Should Rick Barnes retire or should he stay?
I think.
You go, John.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think what needs to happen is Danny White needs to approach him, say you got one more year to show that you can adapt. Because in my opinion, I think he's a great coach. It's just his philosophy is old school. It's very guard forward. It's very defense forward. But the bigs, I don't think I've seen a Tennessee big man show out in a long time in this kind of system. And I think he needs to find a way to get them involved in the future. Go in the portal, snag a few really good big guys in the post. Use that. Get some shooters. But I think that's what keeps killing their momentum. They getting to the Elite Eight, but never beyond. Because you just saw their guard play just fizzled out during the Houston game. Because Ziegler was shooting like maybe 1 of 10. Lanier was not doing too good. Gainey did good. I saw Gainey was doing good, but it's just the big men not having much responsibility on offense is what kills them. Mm-hmm. And I think he needs to change his philosophy if they want to succeed.
Right. Second half, Gainey did good, but first half, now that goes for everybody. First half, the team in general did terrible because scoring only 15 points in a single half of basketball is, well, it was statistically one of the worst performances in March Madness history. So, yeah, no. Nobody performed good in the first half. But, yeah, you are right. Gainey did a little better.
Well, technically, it's in modern March Madness, it's the worst because, what was it, since the field expanded in 1979, no one had scored that little of points. So, technically, we had the worst since the expanded field.
Incredible.
All right, thanks for making us feel better, Julio. Thank you.
Really.
And I'm sorry to bring this up, but it's happened. The same thing's happened before. A very low scoring first half happened in the Florida game when we first played each other. And it happens every so often because, like I said, over reliance on guard play, and it just happened again. Yeah. It needs to be fixed.
Lights got too bright. What about you, Anthony or Ryan? Do you think this should be the end of Rick Barnes, or do you think he should stick around?
You can go, Ryan, since we're just going in order at this point.
Well, to me, it's kind of like you draw parallels, I guess, to some coaches in football. It's like you got the coaches that can consistently go to the playoff, but they don't win the whole thing. And it's like, do you fire them for making the playoffs consistently? No, because that'd be kind of a stupid thing to do. You have to think that at some point, regardless of how things go in the past, that you're going to break through eventually and win it. No, I agree with John in the aspect of like the AD needs to go to Rick Barnes and say, you need to change something because it ain't working currently. But to fire him after taking y'all to back-to-back Elite Eights, which is something y'all haven't done before, that would be stupid.
I agree.
So yeah, I I think I like Rick Barnes a lot, and I feel a lot of the same way that John does in the terms of like I think it's really a problem with his philosophy. It is really all about the fact that there's really not a star big man in Tennessee. There hasn't been in a long time. Uh, but it's so, especially a coach as successful as Rick Barnes has been at Tennessee, it's so difficult to make the case to fire him, especially after back-to-back Elite Eights, like we've mentioned, something that's never happened in Tennessee's history. It's so hard to make a case to actually fire him. I do think there does need to be a talking to him about like, hey, maybe we should switch up some things about the philosophy because we really want to break through that to that next level that think Tennessee can reach. Tennessee's been talented so many years, but they've never been able to really break through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to justify firing Rick Barnes. I don't think he should be fired in no scenario whatsoever. But there definitely does need to be some sort of change in his philosophy and the way he does things and the players he gets from portal, recruiting, etc.
Right.
So there's one other thing I want to say. So the last time Tennessee really had like a good big man, and he would I don't know even know if you would consider him a big man. He's not. I mean, he's tall, of course. I mean, everyone's tall playing basketball. But Grant Williams, that's literally like the last talented big man I can think of. But he's not really much of a big man. I know he played power forward here, but him and Schofield were practically played either power forward or small forward and stuff like that. And those were like the two that worked in the paint. But it's like seemed like after that team, we just kind of started to focus more on guards, and like he just stopped recruiting like post players, and this came back to bite us because I feel like he wanted to modernize, but I feel like he went too much in the other direction and just completely abandon it, and it's come back to bite him.
Right.
Because anytime we go on a shooting slump, especially in March, we lose. I mean, it's hard anytime you go to win any game when you get on a shooting slump, especially from the three. But the closest like game I can think of wise watching that game was like one of the Houston Rockets and what was it 2016 in the NBA playoffs just kept on chucking up threes when they went like 0 for 28. That's kind of how it felt like watching the first half.
Very good analysis there. Yeah, and that's a good comparison because it literally just felt like insanity, just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Because that's all we did for the entire first half is just chuck up threes. Screw the twos, that's not important. Nope, we got to shoot up threes. And Houston went with the philosophy that we should just shoot up a lot of twos, and they quickly got so far ahead that it felt like the game was over the moment it started. It felt like the game was over the moment Rick Barnes woke up out of bed.
And the thing is, like, Houston, everyone knows Houston probably pound for pound has the best defense in the tournament, right? I think Houston pretty much knew that Tennessee was they're going to live and die by the three. They're going to live on the perimeter. They're going to shoot on the perimeter. So they knew that all they had to do was really defend that, right? And obviously, with only 15 points in the first half, they did a great job doing that. I said the same thing about Alabama going into the tournament, and you kind of saw what happened with it against Duke. These teams that are over reliant on their perimeter players, it can end up biting them if they don't have decent post play. And that's what happened to Alabama. That's what happened to Tennessee. When you play those good defensive teams that know how to stop those perimeter players, you're going to have a tough time because you're then limiting yourself to living and dying on the perimeter. And then you saw what happened with Tennessee and Alabama. They both died on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it pans out. This isn't really even my thoughts on what's going on. This is just sort of my prediction on how this is going to go. I think he's going to be here next year. He said so himself earlier this season. They talked about, are you going to retire? Nope, I'm going to stick around. So I'm going to take him at his word and say that Rick Barnes is going to be here next year. And hopefully, like you guys said, he gets a stern talking to or something like that from Danny White. which I don't even know. I mean, Josh Heupel didn't get that, so after the performance he put up in the playoffs. But then again, it was a brand new experience for Tennessee in football. This is a reoccurring thing in basketball. So I guess we'll see how it pans out. This is something we can all agree on, okay? At least we're not Georgia, right?
Yep.
But that one
Oh,
Final
God.
Four they made a million years ago, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, as per the usual, they're sitting in the cuck chair. They may have been nut riding.
But Lucas, they beat Michael Jordan to go to the Final Four.
Congratulations. Whatever.
The bunch of Georgia fans on Twitter who were, they only started watching basketball when they beat Florida for the first time in 12 attempts. They were all like, yeah, Mike White's gone further in the tournament than Todd Golden ever has, and now he's in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been preying on his downfall the entire way. I've been watching them root for Texas Tech, for Houston, for everybody that isn't Tennessee or Florida or Auburn. And they just keep losing. They just keep losing.
Yeah, have any of these Georgia fans that are talking all this smack, have they actually been alive to see that Final Four?
Nope.
Probably not. No.
Brother, this is the first year that they've ever turned on a basketball game.
Yeah, and then they got blown out in the first round by Gonzaga.
And what's funny is, here's the flawed logic in this. Georgia fans are actively admitting or trying to say that Tennessee is a lesser program in basketball than Georgia because they have a Final Four and we don't. Brother, we have 6 natties in football and you got 3. Does that mean we're the better football program today? I don't agree with that, but based on your logic, that's exactly what you believe because you believe natties and Final Four appearances, whatever else is the end all be all and nothing else matters. Well, that's your take, not mine. So, so this isn't surprising. As soon as we lost that Final Four game, the Georgia fans came out in flocks. I only have about 19 different messages from Uncle Lou. So, naturally, yes. They all, this is like Christmas season for them. This is like happy October Fools for them. They adore this moment. So let them bask in it, I guess.
I don't know. It seems like Georgia fans care more about Tennessee basketball losing than their actual basketball team winning, and it's absolutely
They do. They do.
And guess what? It's just like Ohio State. Whenever you get them stuck in a rut, guess what they do? They pivot right back to football because that's the only sport they can do.
Football.
Yeah, the football go. But the football. But football.
But football.
Well, remember too, they've had 2 good years of baseball, so now they're suddenly baseball fans.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The baseball, but then after that, but the football. Oh, but what they told me last year was that nobody watches baseball. Nobody watches baseball though. What? Wait, what? Georgia fans
They sweep Florida, and suddenly they're the biggest baseball fans on the planet.
They told me last year nobody watches baseball.
Keep in mind, they sweep an injured down Florida team, by the way. An injured down Florida baseball team.
And they act like they struck gold. It's actually really funny.
Dude, I don't know, dude. You can't reason with Georgia fans. You just can't.
I mean, it's the same fan base that does this. So, like, what can you do?
Bunch of wannabe furries. Crazy.
Oh, God.
That's not too far off from accurate, I'll say that much. All right, then. Well, here's a little update for you guys. Some of you wanted an update on how the, I guess, the picks are going, the bracket. And we do have a new number 1 man for the bracket. The race for the free cool and good hat is on, and it's getting ever so closer. I'll go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. It really is. It's getting ever so closer, and I'll present it here for you guys as well. It's looking pretty good so far. So we've got all the way down here at the bottom, the dummy who picked Vandy to win it all. So a deserving ranking based on that.
Hey, I'm not near the bottom anymore.
No, you jumped up quite a bit. You did. You jumped up like majorly. I'll show you in a second. But yeah, Connor sucks all the way down here at 38.
Ugh, this poor dude had St. John's winning. Oh my.
Wait, hold on. Is that set K-State for the Natty, but he picks Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's. Where did he? Yeah, Kansas State ain't even in this tournament, are they?
Kansas State's like very mid right now. They're probably gonna get rid of the coach soon. He's not very good.
Yeah. We got somebody
Hey,
who picked Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm not doing very good.
Yeah. First off, young man Connor, appreciate the $2 super chat. He says UGA fans slow. Gotta agree with that one. Anyway, yeah, here's the St. John's guy. He was leading this early on in the race, but then of course he just fell off dramatically. Look, he doesn't even have any points left to give.
Wait, Connor said UGA fans are slow. I thought they were fast, considering they like to go over the speed limit.
Over
the speed
That was
limit
pretty good.
is
that was pretty good.
over the speed limit is yeah, it works. Anyway, moving. We got over at 28, sexy Kyle time.
Hey! I said, isn't Kyle number 1 though?
Yeah, no, that's somebody else. That's not the.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I predicted it technically.
All right, the Crimson Dog here at 25. Go up some more. Preston was up at the top, and then he sort of fell off. Me and Anthony were up there. Goob was up there, and we've started falling
I'm surprised
off.
the A&M bracket has so much, actually.
Yeah, my bracket definitely went down when Michigan State lost and Tennessee lost.
Yeah,
Dang, I didn't think my bracket would jump up that far. That's
Look
insane.
at you.
I'm not in last place. I'm happy with it. Shoot, this year's
Yeah.
disappointed me, but I'll take it.
Yeah, but Lucas, yeah, he was up. He was down at the bottom, and then he just jumped up majorly. Yeah, we got Weggy RH up there at 10. Brian Wolf a little bit.
Oh,
Ian the Hyper's up to 6.
Bama owns Tennessee.
Yeah,
That's wrong.
yeah, get out. So Kyle, the real Kyle, the Kyle we know, he was leading this for the longest time, but he has been overtaken by TJ and then a bunch of numbers, whoever that may be. So if you're watching this, TJ, a bunch of numbers, then you're currently leading for the free cool and good hat. Let's check out your bracket, why don't we?
Oh, he predicted. Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a lot of.
Yep.
It's a lot of correct picks.
That'd do it. That'd do it right there.
I don't know if I trust Houston to win the Natty though, but
It just, to me, just looking at that, it's just all number 1 seeds just kind of depresses me. Just, I wanted some upsets, man.
I mean, I get it.
Thank you, NIL.
Chalk. No, here's the thing. I'll make the case, right? Chalk is no fun. I get it, but like, these are the 4 best teams. They definitely deserve to be. These are the 4 best teams. That
In
are
the
playing
terms
right now.
of KenPom ratings or rankings or whatever, these are 4 of the best teams maybe in college basketball and since 2000. Or at least since they started doing this stuff. Because any other year, all these teams are like national champions or at least in the national title game easily.
And if you think about it this way, right? Like, it's chalk, sure, but this is only the second time this has happened in a long time that all 4 number 1 seeds are in the Final Four.
And a few years ago, we had FAU, San Diego State, Miami, UConn. None of them were higher than a 4 seed.
So it's not like this is a too common of an occurrence anyway, but still,
Yeah, I think next year it's gonna be like that.
Well, I think that just depending like on the year, it'll either be a crazy March Madness or like a very chalky one. I feel like it's gonna seesaw back and forth probably, just because I feel like just with how the transfer portal is and everything. Like I think it'll depend on like how the mid majors get some of the transfers or whatever.
how they adapt, yeah.
Maybe they can scavenge off the bigger programs like Kansas, because Kansas recently lost a 5-star. Wasn't that good, but I mean somebody can take him. He's not highly like pursued, so they can take one of those.
God,
But
this guy dominated. Look at this. He picked the
He's-
entire elite.
dude.
He picked the entire Elite 8 right too.
Yeah, I don't.
That's nuts.
I don't
That's-
know if Houston will probably. I don't know if Houston will win.
Houston's
the
defense
matchup.
will keep them in these games. If their offense can find a way, they can win these games.
Oh yeah, they've got a good shot against Duke. I'll say that.
They
much.
play defense like 2009 Randy Orton wrestles. It's insane.
Yeah.
They shut down Cooper Flag, and I have a high belief that they can knock off Duke. Arctic Phoenix 27, thanks for the $2 super chat. He says, I picked Michigan State to the Natty. Still 12th, though. Yeah, you're in a good position, but like the rest of us, you're no longer in the race. I think the only people in the race are like... hold on, let's check in on Kyle's bracket. Let's see where he lies, because that could determine a lot. Oh, yeah, so he picked Michigan State to go to the Final Four over Auburn. That's the only difference.
He needs Florida to win their game.
His Elite Eight is perfect.
Here's the thing. It's literally just going to come up to the Natty winner for the top two, right? It's going to come up to whether Houston wins it or Duke wins it. And obviously, if neither win, then who knows what happens there. But
well, actually, I mean, Kyle picked Duke, and then TJ picked Houston.
Oh yeah, and they're playing in the Final Four. Yeah, you're right.
So whoever wins that game, I think is whoever wins it. If Duke wins it, I think Kyle's gonna win this whole thing and get the cool and good hat. If Houston does, then it's gonna be TJ. Is basically what I think it comes down to. Who's in third place? Jay West. He's down by only a single point. He did similarly to Kyle.
He needs the exact same things as everybody else, but I think the same result happens. He needs a tiebreaker.
His is dead identical to Kyle, in fact. Same Elite Eight, same Michigan State loss over Auburn. Same teams making it.
So I think it was maybe like 1 game difference. That's the difference between their brackets. I think probably.
Yeah. Literally, it's Florida versus Duke for the Natty for both. Yeah, there's no telling. And then here's Dummy. He's at 101 points. Okay,
He
yeah,
did
he's
so good.
He's out. He's done. He's out.
Bama to win the Natty. That was never gonna happen.
I'll be honest, Bama. Mark Sears is really good, but it gets to a point.
Bama is worse when it comes to over reliance on the perimeter.
Yeah, no, that's one thing. Because Grant Nelson, at least, he's a good big man, but at the same time, it's Grant Nelson and Mark Sears, and that's kind of it. That all they have on offense.
And the thing is, at least Tennessee has a defense. Alabama has 0 defense to speak of.
Let's do.
Talk about 2 examples of living and dying by the 3, literally. Bama shot 49% from 3 in the BYU game to like 26% against Duke.
Dude picked Georgia to go to the Final Four. I'm guessing this.
He's got Vanderbilt and Georgia in the Final Four.
Is this one of our friends, Jackson? Are you sure?
That's Jared. There's no way. That's
gotta be Jared. Vandy Mapper. Got it. Jared, where you at, buddy? What is this?
There's other Vandy fans. Come on,
Jared. What is this?
Yeah, that's clearly Jared. I mean, Vandy and Georgia in the Final Four.
Vandy and Georgia in the Final Four. Like like come on. You got Texas A&M there too. Oh my goodness.
Holy.
Dreaming for the All SEC Final Four, but not in the way he was hoping for.
North Carolina in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, please give me a break.
Hold up. How far do you have Tennessee going?
He had us losing to Georgia in the Elite Eight. I would probably leave YouTube if that happened to us in a different sport.
Jeez, yeah. That Georgia fans would be ruthless if that happened.
They're already the worst fan base in college sports.
They'll become basketball fans for the first time in their lives.
They're already the worst fan base in sports history. We don't need them to get even
more
toxic.
There's a few. I think Ohio State's up there.
They're bad, and they're getting worse, but it's definitely nowhere near Georgia.
Heck, Auburn's put their hat in the ring recently, and they're brutal.
Well, I think Auburn fans are just overly optimistic about where they're at as a program.
Ole Miss fans are up there.
I'm sorry, but I think Auburn fans, they keep being so optimistic about football, but we've seen the evidence. I don't think Hugh Freeze, I don't think he's up for the task, but that's y'all's. That's on y'all.
Wow, Florida versus Clemson in the national championship.
Wow, they were as high on Clemson as I was.
And that,
Wow.
That immediately crashed and burned because they lost in the first round.
I'm shocked nobody chose Missouri to go far because Missouri at one point looked like one of the top 5 team in the country. Missouri looked
They were
really
hot.
good,
They were
but
hot for a while.
damn, nobody considered them. And
I mean, yeah, they were hot, but they got so cold late in the season.
They did. And Caleb Grill, their 6-man, he went like a month on slump, like shooting 19% from 3. He was not looking good.
Yeah, and Drake basketball is like Iowa football, slow, conservative.
But they score.
but-
They at
but
least score.
They do
Yeah.
something.
You know what's hilarious about that? I think Drink's head coach left for the Iowa basketball team.
He did.
He did.
And he
That's
brought their star
hilarious.
guard with him. He brought their best player.
What's up with Iowa and hiring defensive-minded, very slow head coaches?
Birds
I don't
fly.
know,
Maybe
but-
it's a philosophy with the AD.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe
had
the
philosophy
AD
with
just
the
like
university and
slow and
AD.
methodical. I don't know.
The only sport that Iowa that was high scoring was women's basketball. That's it.
The only thing that killed my bracket was the Gonzaga pick in the Final Four.
Boy, wouldn't have this been a nice alternate reality right here? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything like major, like too outlandish in these brackets. I think the one who's in last place right now is the most outlandish bracket by far, and that's probably Jared.
I'm very certain that's Jared. There's no way.
The North Carolina
didn't
one
make
looks pretty
that.
suspect. The
Nobody
North
else
Carolina
is
one.
picking. Nobody else is picking Vandy and Georgia and then Natty. Come on.
Like,
now.
what other individual? Yeah, what other individual would do that?
North Carolina. Look at the North Carolina bracket real quick.
Oh, okay. I'm sure
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not near as bad as the rest, but at least these guys.
North Carolina versus Duke in the Natty.
Why would anyone pick a team that only had one quad win all year and
Yeah,
shouldn't
North-
have even been in the tournament?
Exactly. It should have been West Virginia.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really bad. Oh, Gonzaga in the Final Four. I don't know about that.
Hey, shut up. Shut up. He saw the vision. It's just unfortunate we were wrong.
What do you mean we? What are you, a Gonzaga fan now?
I had him in the Final Four of mine too.
Oh, where's your?
I honestly had Gonzaga in the Elite Eight.
Where's your? Yeah, let's
My
take,
fi-
let's.
Kyle time.
okay.
Kyle time. It's Kyle time.
Oh, okay. Sexy Kyle time. Yeah, that adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. You've got some duds here. I'll say that much.
You had us losing to UCLA, bro.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. No,
Or,
he had
never
him,
mind.
Yeah, he had him making the Elite Eight.
Oh,
He just had us
never
losing to
mind.
Gonzaga. Man, they ain't beating Houston. What's wrong with you?
I also put my bets on VCU. I thought VCU could do
Oh
something.
yeah, VCU was probably my worst pick this year. I had them going to
Yeah.
the Elite Eight.
That's where Shaka Smart needs to go back to. He needs to go back to VCU.
Man, oh wow, and you had Michigan losing to UC San Diego.
They were
Me
close to
too.
doing it. They were close.
Me too. I
Yeah.
had them.
Not only that, but you had him beating A&M and then facing off against Auburn in the Sweet 16, or Louisville actually. I mean, yeah, Louisville all the way up here in the Elite Eight.
I liked.
Dude,
liked
I
Louisville too.
I liked Louisville too, but dude, Crichton just beat the heck out of him. Oh my.
Crichton.
Crichton. They're the Blue Jays. That's all I care about.
And then you had you had Oklahoma beating UConn.
They're so inconsistent. They lost to Seton Hall. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
but it's Oklahoma.
They had a few good wins. They had a few.
So did UConn.
hmm
Yeah, but yeah.
I only hate Oklahoma in basketball just because their head coach was that Loyola Chicago head coach that knocked us out of the tournament.
All right,
The one thing I always say about like March Madness is like it's hard to judge a pick because there's really no bad picks because of how just unpredictable March Madness really is.
Right.
Like just anything can happen, you know.
Um.
And it's no fun just picking all the favorites.
Right. Ryan, where's your bracket?
I don't think I'm in this group.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, you forgot to put it in. That's right.
Yeah.
Mine got put in, which is the KJY one, but the thing is, it just didn't go through. I don't think it did. It go through? I
Yeah, this is
don't
a
know.
really
It did
good.
not.
This is a really good bracket right here.
Dang, man, you got all the picks correct. Dang, look at all
Perfect
that.
bracket. Oh my god.
Look at his rank. This is a beautiful rank right here. What is that? You are
That's
only
3 million.
3.9 millionth place, Julio.
You actually, here's the thing. If you actually submitted this would be a really good bracket. Like, if you actually picked the championship game, it would have been good.
Master of the
Yeah.
picks, Julio Rodriguez.
Wait. Did I really do that good in it? Like, holy.
No.
No.
Your bracket didn't go through.
No,
but
but
like,
I'm saying, like,
if
that's
he
what I'm
did
saying. I
submit it.
know it didn't go through, but like, did I do good even if it would have went through?
Yeah, no,
You made-
legitimately, you
you
did
made-
pretty good. It looks pretty good so far.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. It kind of looks bad. I don't know.
I'd have to see the lower half though.
Greatest bracket of all time.
Lower half.
Real quick, before we continue onwards, why is it not going? What the heck? What's wrong with my screen? It still thinks I'm screen sharing.
We're looking
That's
at the
weird.
color yellow.
Yeah, I know.
It is
They-
very.
It still thinks
It's
I'm
very
screen
orange for me.
sharing. Yeah.
It's very orange.
What in the world? Okay, go away.
No. Well, there it was.
I have never seen this before. There. Okay,
Broke
that'll
it.
work.
Good job.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That it was weird because I wasn't screen sharing anymore, and then it didn't go back to its original form. I couldn't figure out what was going on. But we're better now. First off, good grief. Sorry, both of my cats just went under the bed, and now they're causing a ruckus. Hey,
Also, John, I like your profile picture, by the way.
Who is that?
good dadgummit.
Anthony, who is it?
I don't remember his name, but I know him.
Damn, okay. Chenandler Parsons, sir.
These cats, bro. Freaking cats. Okay.
Should have known Chenandler
Anyway.
Parsons.
Sorry about that. All right. Well,
Yeah, you're right. I'm a casual.
well, before we wrap things up, I did want to ask you guys. I want to give everybody the chance here. This is, we talk all sports here, but this is also, I'm mainly a football fan, so naturally I want to give you guys the chance to talk about Florida's upcoming season. And boy, it's going to be interesting. I know that for a fact. Let me shut this door. So, what do y'all think about where Billy Napier is right now?
Oh no.
Okay, so who wants to go first here?
I'll go first.
I'll let the guy with the hottest takes go first. John,
Yeah,
you
John.
lead us off.
John, how about you do it?
Well, I think everybody else is going to agree with me on this. I think this is a make or break year for Napier again. Last year kind of was that. Started off really rough, ended on a great note, a lot of momentum. But the issue with Napier is he finds a way to squander momentum at the worst moments. It goes to recruiting, the games, just. But this could be a great year because this is our most talented roster in a long time. DJ Lagway, of course, is going to be a great quarterback for us. If he stays healthy, I don't see an issue with us going 9-3 or 10-2. I think with everything goes according to plan, 9-3, 10-2 should be what we are this year. But if not, so like 7-5 or 6-6, I think we should consider moving on from the Billy Napier experiment.
Okay, so I'll go next. So the way I feel is that this is the first year since Billy Napier's been there that we actually have momentum going into the next season. Every other season we looked stupid. We fell flat on our face at the end of the year by whether we didn't make a bowl game or when we showed up to a bowl game and got completely. We just didn't look like we wanted to be there against Oregon State. So, we actually have momentum going into this year. I think that we have good skill players. Our defense showed up, especially our front seven really showed up in a big way at the end of the year. So I'm really excited for how our football team looks going into the year. But it's really all going to come down to how we can manage carrying that momentum from the end of last year onto this year. And the way I feel is that hold on, let me I think. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I think our season's going to come down to that 4 game stretch with LSU, Texas A&M, Texas, and Miami. That's what our season's really going to come down to.
Here, I'll pull up the schedule
If
to make it easier, so that you can get a
thank you.
grasp. We don't have enough time to go through the entire schedule, but just looking at it from the face, I wanted to give you guys a chance to give us your take.
Right, yeah. I think our season's really going to come down to that 4 game stretch between Miami, Texas, Texas A&M, and LSU. That's really what if we can go 3-1 in there, if we can go 4-0 or 3-1 in that stretch, I think we're shaping up to have a pretty good season. But I think if we go winless or 1-3 in that stretch, I don't know if Billy Napier is going to survive the season.
Yeah.
Like I don't because
Especially with, sorry for interrupting, but just to add on to you, especially with another few games like versus Tennessee, versus Ole Miss, versus Georgia. Shoot, at Kentucky's kind of a hard game too. I mean, he needs to do good in the four game stretch and set the tone for the season.
Because I think if we go 4-0, 3-1 in that stretch, we're shaping up to have a good end to the season and a good season in general, right? But again, yeah, it's that 4 game stretch that's really gonna make or break the year, I think, in my opinion. So,
And by the way, shout out to the SEC scheduling for sending us to College Station for the 4th time since A&M joined in 2012. By comparison, Tennessee's been once and Georgia's been 0 times.
Ain't that a something, huh?
They love sending us to College Station for some reason.
Well, yeah. You might have been more times than South Carolina has.
They played every year under the old schedule, so no, they've been about the same time.
But the number's not far off. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goob's an A&M fan. He said no complaints from me. Uh-oh. All right. Well, then. Well, to the Florida fans in here, just from this alone, right now, I know it's still early. We haven't even had spring ball yet. But what would you say is your prediction right now for Florida's season? Your predicted record.
I guess we'll just go in that order. So, John, if you want to go first, go ahead.
I honestly think, with Lagway in consideration at quarterback and momentum from last season, heading to this year, 9-3.
9-3. Very, very good record.
Yeah.
What would you say the losses are?
I think Texas, I think Ole Miss, and I think Georgia.
Very fair.
Okay, so I actually will go with probably the same, except I'll go 9-3 with losses to Texas, Georgia, and I'll probably go probably Texas A&M. So I'll probably go with like 9-3 as well. Maybe 10-2 if we can pull off one of those, like maybe Texas A&M, but 9-3 I think is probably my prediction right now.
Yeah, to hell with all of that. We're going 12-0.
Respect.
We're going 12-0 until we can't.
Well, yeah.
That's what I think.
That strategy works every time, except for all the times it doesn't. Let's see what the comments think. Goob says 5-7. Napier is a professional choker. Ref ball will always screw an SEC team.
Okay, well, I don't know what one has to do with the other, but thanks. Napier's a choker. Ref ball will get everybody. Okay.
It's like
apples and oranges.
Exactly.
Thanks, dude.
Well, tell Goob we already know Texas A&M's record. It'll be 8-4.
And then the next you'll be 8-4. Then the next. Then the next. Then the next. Then the next.
It's basically that one meme with Mr. Krabs. The next day.
That's
and the
what I
next
was
day.
doing.
And
That's
the
what I
next
was
day.
Hold on. They're biting the stupid cords again. Hey! Stop! Hey!
Maybe you train your cats better.
Quit! I do. That's why I got the squirt gun. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Arctic Phoenix says 9-3. Young Man Connor says 7-5. Jemai Meshack Stan says you'll find a way to beat UT again. Ain't that the damn truth? It's on the road, so you can just pencil that in bold as a W for Florida. Not says 5-7. Yeah, so everybody, the consensus for everybody, it seems, is that either Florida is a really, really good team that's going to do way better than everybody's expecting them to, or Florida's a talentless roster that probably won't win a game. There's no in between.
Just remember that last year everyone was saying we're a talentless roster that wasn't going to win anything, and we ended up going 8-5. So,
I think, in terms of like talent, I mean, it's kind of ignorant not to say with Florida's continuous addition with, I think it's probably our best blue chip ratio in years. Napier's done a great job with acquiring talent.
Some of that from last year was failure to launch, though. I mean, y'all started out really bad, but then got it together towards the later half of the season.
Yeah, our defense was actually playing very well, even with injuries to our secondary. I think Jason Marshall got hurt, Jakeem Jackson got hurt, and we had to rely on Dijon Johnson, and he did a phenomenal job.
And along with Bridges stepped up.
Bridges, yeah.
Cormani McClain.
Yep.
In his spare time, he was doing good. I think linebacker Shamar James, I'm gonna miss him. Oh my lord, I think he's gonna be a steal for whoever gets in the draft. And this year we have
Miles Graham,
Childs. Our linebackers should be sound. Defensive line, maybe our best unit in years. Caleb Banks could have made a big deal for the draft, but he stayed. Tyreek Sapp stayed. I think Florida's defensive line will be their key to winning games.
And here's the thing. One more point I want to make, because it would have been, and listen, I get whatever criticism you want to give Napier, which I think is deserved. There's a lot of criticism he definitely deserves. One thing you can never say about Billy Napier is that he did not have that team bought in. It would have been very easy to see that team give up after the way we started out the year. But he has the buy-in from the players. The players like him. The players believe in him, believe in his philosophy, believe what he's doing. It would have been so easy for that team to pack it in and just give up, and then Napier would have been fired. Then we would have had another coaching search, and the coaching carousel would have continued here at the University of Florida. But it didn't. He had the team believing, and that's something I'll always give Napier credit for, as much as there are things he deserves. Whatever. As much as criticism as he deserves, I always give him credit for that.
We were 4-5 playing against a good LSU team. We somehow beat them, beat Ole Miss, beat Florida State, and then beat Tulane. We've won 4 games against good teams. Actually, sorry, 3 games. 3 games. I just changed my statement. Shut up. I changed my statement. Sorry. But Napier actually had some good victories last year. But the defense, if the defense could play exactly like how they did last year to end the year, Florida's going to win a lot of games. That defense, if they can replicate that success, which the defensive line, in my opinion, 100% will, they're going to be just fine.
Very good takes. Very good takes all around. So 9-3 for both Anthony and John, and then Ryan has them going 1100-0. So great takes all around. Lucas, I think we've already done Florida, but Lucas and Julio, you guys said that Florida's going around 7-5, 8-4, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think I had around that. I did say that they would beat us, though.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they beat us. We haven't won any games in a million years.
Best season. What is it? That's what Tennessee's second to last game or something like that.
Yeah,
I can assure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're 10-0, 11-0. If that were to happen, we'd lose the fucking.
No, I can assure. Yeah, I can assure you that it's more likely they beat Georgia by 3 touchdowns and lose to Tennessee. They could be winless going into that game at the end of the season, and I can assure you they will still beat Tennessee. It's not even about the curse or anything like that. It's about I guarantee you.
It's just a trap game. It's
Alabama.
at game. Winning in the swamp is very hard, especially against a rival.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing about Alabama too. until I'm proven otherwise, I will never believe in Heupel when it comes to the road. When it comes to true rivalry road games, we can't win them. We just can't. And until we do, I'm going to pick us to lose against all of our rivals on the road, except for Kentucky. That's the outlier.
Well, yeah,
but Kentucky's not a road game.
Yeah, it is. We play Lexington.
Technically.
I mean, I was joking, because we always fill out a good chunk of their stadium. I mean, it's not it's not Vanderbilt. It's not Vanderbilt level, but
One thing, this is split Tennessee, Florida in this call right now, but I think one thing we can all agree on is how much we hate the Tennessee-Florida game being moved all the way to the last game of the season.
Facts.
That's so dumb.
This rivalry is called the third Saturday in September, and we're playing in frickin' November.
Well, yeah, I think it's bad for the name, but at least from a Tennessee fan's perspective, since we have such a bad record, having y'all early in the season, I actually kind of like it later in the season.
Yeah, what in the
I
world
don't. It kind of ruins it.
What would we name the Tennessee-Florida rivalry if it actually had a name?
Well, it does have a name. It's called the third Saturday in September, but now it's in November. So,
no, but I don't even
know
the official name.
I guess it's the fourth Saturday in November now.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Hold on,
Impeccable.
Yeah, I'm such a genius for coming up with that name.
Yeah, good job, Lucas Sharp.
I mean, we could just call it Tennessee versus Florida. Genius.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I mean, that's what they call it, like on the college football 25. You know what I think we should bring back? We should bring back rivalry trophies. There's not enough rivalry trophies anymore in college football.
The best one is UAB versus Memphis, because they literally fight for a trophy that is a rack of ribs.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's the back for the wagon wheel between Kent State and Akron.
Yeah,
but they don't matter.
The golden jug with
you want me to tell you which one I miss that they haven't done in a while? Miami and Florida State used to play for the Seminole War Canoe, and the winner got to carry like a canoe or whatever.
No, that's the trophy for Florida Miami. I was about to bring that up. Florida Miami played for the War Canoe, but they refuse to give it back to us when we win because we stop playing them every year.
Yeah. Well, heck, I don't know why they don't play it or whatever. I think y'all should petition y'all's state representatives to do what South Carolina did and make it a law that Florida State, and Miami have to play each other, and it's a law in the state.
I want us to play Miami every single year. I would love to play Miami every year.
Because that's what South Carolina did with Clemson in South Carolina after South Carolina left for the ACC. They made it a law in the state that Clemson and South Carolina have to play.
I'm pretty sure it's a law that Florida and Florida State have to play. I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure that's a thing, though.
No, I think I don't think it's a law. Hold on. Julio, mute your mic. And yeah, he's got the world's worst echo you've ever heard. But he's getting a new headphone. He's getting a new mic next week, so that'll be gone. But
imagine it's worse.
Yeah. No. But it's not. I don't think it's a law because South Carolina and Clemson had the same thing. It's a resolution, which it's a different thing. It's basically both parties coming together and saying we should play this game every single year, and then it's just they're just like okay, and that's how that goes down. So it's not a law. It's just a resolution. Does that make sense?
Maybe, yeah, it's probably something like that. But heck, I didn't know. I'm just saying that's what I've heard before.
Either way,
I've always said that, especially with rivalries, like that, it should be, Miami has to play Florida and Miami has to play Florida State and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, I want to play Miami every year.
I've always wondered, didn't they used to have like a three-way trophy or whatever for that series?
Florida, Miami.
Yeah,
and
that's the Florida Cup.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because I know Tennessee Tech, like Tennessee State, and I think UT Martin have like a three-way trophy. I think it's called the Battle for the York Trophy or something like that. So I was just wondering if Florida did something like that.
Yeah, it's only given out in the rare years we do play Miami, but yeah, they do have that for all the big three in Florida.
Should UCF be included in that? I'm joking.
No.
Never.
No.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but if you claim make-believe fairy tale natties, you're not a part of a big anything.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I was joking.
Shout out to the Barstool
Yeah.
account though. Barstool UCF follows me here on the channel and is in the Discord, so shout out to him.
I will say this though. I can't really talk too much trash about the fake natty at UCF because there are the dude who started that is our athletic director now. So I'd be trashing my own athletic director.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay then, guys. Well, a great show tonight. Really good show. A lot of great feedback from all you guys. Obviously, it was a hard one for us to do, considering the loss that we had to go through. But it could be worse. You could be another Manti Te'o and get cucked by a Vol Twitter user. So, you know, you take the wins where you can get them at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And we at least had a few wins to celebrate. Appreciate all three of you guys for coming on tonight as special guests. What's going on with y'all? I know you don't have channels, so there really isn't much that we can go to, but is there anything you want to say before we wrap up the show tonight? Any thoughts? Anything you want to tell us before we call it wraps?
Screw Auburn.
Well said.
Hoping for a Florida natty in basketball. It'd be the first natty I really get to like experience for any of the major three sports for Florida. Because I mean, we won the natty in 2017 in baseball, but really, I wasn't too heavily into baseball at that time. But either way, still, just hoping for a Florida natty. Hoping Florida football does well. Just hoping that my NFL team gets its foot out of its ass.
Nah, keep it there.
Yeah, for context, Anthony is a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Still better than the
Listen,
Titans.
I'm just
but...
saying. I'm just saying. The worse the Jags are, the better Florida is. I'll take the Jags being dead.
But we can have both, right?
No, it's never happened.
Nope.
Right?
Yeah, you can join. Yeah, you can join the Titans in just NFL purgatory.
Denver got out of purgatory recently, so I'm happy with that.
Hey, at least we swept the Titans this year, though.
Congratulations!
As bad as we were, we swept them.
You swept the Titans.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
You're getting him mad again. You're getting
I'm
him mad
very
again.
happy I swept the Titans.
Well, you know why that you couldn't beat Jacksonville is because you let go of their dad, which is Derrick Henry. He's owned Jacksonville since he was like 14.
Yeah, too bad he's on the Ravens.
I
The
know.
Dolphins don't make too many good decisions from their front office. They're not the smartest bunch. I'm pretty sure.
And we got the
Actually,
best
go
young
Anthony.
wide receiver in the NFL. So
Malik Neighbors.
nah, Brian Thomas is better.
Yeah, can we take a moment here? We're all a fan of different NFL teams. We got hi Cat. The Saints, Julio's the Cowboys. That's the Jacksonville. Anthony's Jacksonville. John's the Broncos. Ryan is the Tampa Bay Bucks. I mean, can we just take a moment to laugh at Lucas because all of our teams are more successful than his.
No, that's wrong. The Jaguars are not more successful than the
I mean,
freaking Titans.
we swept the Titans.
Congratulations! Who still leads the all-time series?
Yeah, who cares? Who cares about an all-time series when the most recent year we swept you guys? I really don't care, personally.
There we go.
Congratulations! You finally won a series against us. It took you a million years to finally do that.
Who are y'all picking number 1 overall, by the way?
I don't know.
Jackson Dart.
Jalen Milroe.
Jackson Dart. Jalen Milroe would be pretty funny.
Y'all are mean, bro. Y'all.
Actually, no, Desmond Watson. That's your first overall pick.
Desmond
Don't
Watson.
Desmond Watson.
6'6", 465 pounds. Enjoy him at defensive
Could have
tackle.
won the Heisman, by the way. Desmond Watson.
Hey, he can stop the tush
It's
push.
honestly impressive, though. No matter who the Titans are going to pick at quarterback, they're going to find a way to turn him into Jamarcus Russell, too.
No, they're gonna trade him after like 2 good years.
I don't know. I think the Titans are making a mistake if they don't draft Abdul Carter. Just saying.
No, they're going to get Abdul Carter, and then they're going to... Hey,
They should draft Mason Graham.
He's too good. We got to trade him. He's too good.
Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft.
No, he's not. It's
He's
Mason
the best
Graham.
overall player in the draft.
It's
No,
Mason
I love
Graham.
Mason Graham. I love Mason Graham, and that's probably who the Jags are picking. But listen, like Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft. 100%. Best overall player, best overall prospect in the draft.
Young Man Connor says the Jags have never been to a Super Bowl. Well, to be fair, not have the Titans.
Yeah, 97.
Oh, that's
97.
right.
Yeah. They were just one, like, what was it, a yard short, an inch
That
short?
was the yard short thing, yeah. That was the year that we went 14-2, and our only 2 losses in the regular season were to the Titans, and we lost in the AFC Championship to the Titans.
You weren't even alive then, Anthony. Hush.
Okay, what does that mean?
I don't know. What does it
To
mean?
be alive for it.
What does it
At
mean?
least, at least y'all have actually had some postseason success in here. The Cowboys haven't ever had any since
I mean,
I've been a fan. So.
Besides one Super Bowl run, my Broncos haven't done crap.
Well, at least
Future's
you
looking
saw
bright,
a
though.
Super Bowl.
You can thank Peyton Manning for that,
I
by
have
the
to
way.
bust out the VHS to watch.
Nah, Tim Tebow.
Peyton Manning? That was not Peyton Manning that won them that Super
The
Bowl.
Broncos?
You know that.
The Broncos? Yes, it was.
It was
No,
not Peyton Manning who won
No,
that Super
it
Bowl
was the
for 'em.
defense that won it. Peyton.
Oh,
was-
yeah. Peyton was dead, but the
Yeah, it
defense
was
carried
mostly
him.
Von Miller. I think we can all agree that it was mostly Von Miller that won.
I mean,
the
I love Peyton and what he's done for Tennessee, even though he could never beat Florida. But
Okay, that was,
Hey,
he was
that
on
was
Tebow-
unnecessary.
Tim Tebow is the reason why Peyton Manning chose Denver.
I
Oddly
mean,
enough,
I'm sorry, Jackson, but that's true. 4 of his 6 losses in college were to them.
Yup.
That's stupid. Who cares?
He also didn't win a Heisman, right?
Damn,
Well,
no
he
Heisman?
he got screwed out of the Heisman. We all know
No Heisman winner?
Yeah, wait until next year when they give it to some random ass Michigan defensive back again.
that.
And especially if he plays 2 positions. If he plays 2 positions, even if he's a 1-star, you might as well just give him the next 15 Heismans already.
But you're also assuming that would also require Nico to be in the Heisman race, and I don't think that's going to happen.
No, trust me. If he's in the Heisman race, it's going to a random defensive player.
Let's call him Nico. You know what we need to call him? We need to call him a quarterback / defensive tackle. Obviously, he's not making any tackles, but just based on the fact that he plays 2 positions on opposing sides, they'll give him the Heisman anyway because that's all they care about. That's all they care about, obviously.
Yeah, snap count, right?
Right.
Snap count.
Yeah, if you snap the ball enough, yeah, there you go. There's your Heisman trophy.
Titans are drafting
just-
Travis Hunter first overall. Watch.
Just run 5 plays a game where Nico lines up as a wide receiver and just says he plays so many snaps.
You have
as
a wide receiver again.
I think, you know what I think? I think the Titans on offense obviously need a new step forward. I think they need to bring back Todd Downing because that offense was elite.
Dude, stop, please.
Oh, I missed Todd. I missed Todd Downing.
Yeah, me too. Let's
Please,
bring him back.
please stop.
The best rookie duo next year is going to be Cal McCord and Travis Hunter in Tennessee.
You're all right. Y'all are about
You're
to make me
trolling.
lose everything.
Kyle
Y'all are about to make me lose.
Kyle McCord,
You're such a troll.
unironically, might be one of the better quarterbacks in Titans history, though. If we're just being honest.
Well, that's by default.
Okay, they have Steve McNair, but I mean that's
Yeah, but we
They also
got
had Warren
we
Moon.
got Kyle
Steve McNair and
McCord.
Warren Moon.
We got Kyle McCord, Squidtard.
Oh, how about Warren's son, though? Can't say anything about that.
Try it again. Try it. He's doing it again, guys. I swear, this cat is evil. He keeps
Get him out of
trying-
your room.
He can't. He's hiding under the bed. These cats are freaking evil, bro. He keeps trying to bite on my cords, and I keep.
Get a
I'm
just
yeah.
just invite a UGA fan over. They'll bark at it.
Oh, let me try that. Hold on. I'm gonna do my best Georgia fan impression.
Well, now if you want to do your best,
All you're
Georgia
doing
fan
is making
impression-
you're making that cat think you're a schizophrenic or something.
It doesn't really sound like a dog. It sounds like a dirt bike trying to start like a bad dirt bike or something.
You need to start talking about only football, no matter what.
Yeah, boo,
But football.
Boo,
Ooh, I love football.
boo, back-to-back daddies at a time nobody remembers. Boo.
I do think it's funny that Georgia fans still have the back-to-back national championship thing in their bios now, considering they're not back-to-back natty champs anymore.
That's their sports success. That is what they bring to the table. Nothing else for them matters. Yeah, we may have lost every other sport in America, but where's their back-to-back national titles at?
Actually, Tennessee does have back-to-back natties, but it's from a long time ago. So, I mean, we could do that if we wanted to, too.
Well, apparently they're the
it's
better
about as
basketball
meaningful-
program because they have a Final Four and we don't. So we're the better
No.
football program because we have twice as many natties as them.
I don't
Here's the
care about
thing.
no natties before the World War II. Don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, like it's about as those back-to-back natties are about as meaningful as those Tennessee back-to-back natties a long time ago. They mean just the amount. They mean the same amount now.
I mean,
So-
again, Georgia fans are proof that dead internet theory is not just a theory but a reality. Because you got people on here saying that Georgia's a blue blood when they only have 3 natties and only 1 going back to the 90s. Nebraska ain't a blue blood, though. Nebraska's not a blue blood. Meanwhile, Nebraska has like 7 times as many national titles in the 90s as Georgia does. Or before that era. Point stands. We all know Georgia. We hate Georgia. There you go. That's my point.
Yeah.
They can
The Hate Georgia
yeah.
podcast instead.
They can do like Gamecock Will and sit in the cuck chair.
Yeah. Poor Gamecock Will.
For context, he got catfished. Poor individual.
Rough.
Yeah.
Yikes.
By a Vol Twitter
Womp
account.
womp.
I feel bad for him, but on the space though that they had about it though was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. I didn't see anybody. I looked on Astro Smokey's account and I didn't see the recording of it. So it may just be gone. It may just be in the abyss.
Oh well, that sucks, man.
Damn, I would have liked to see that. But what can you do? What can you do? You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. Fellas, we're gonna go ahead and call it wraps. I gotta go to bed. My sleep schedule has been completely trashed. I took a 6-hour nap earlier because I was up all night due to the storms. Which again, welcome to April. There's gonna be a thunderstorm every single damn day here. Yeah. So get used to that. I mean, it could be worse. It could be living in Oklahoma to where it's just, oh, look, EF5 tornado right out of my house. Must be another Monday.
Yeah, literally.
So, that's all there is.
Boring ass state.
Yeah. TriStar's asking for the link even though there's not any spots left. What's new?
But the softball though.
But the softball. Well, they ain't even got that anymore. Yeah. Bama Dude 18. The only sport Tennessee has room to talk in is baseball. I've got a not necessarily a sport, but a score in mind. Does 24-17 ring any bells? But it's good to see.
24-17. What was it? 80-76.
Oh, that too. Yeah, good point.
And then what? 76-73, the buzzer beater.
Yeah, 76-73.
Yeah,
Yeah, but unfortunately, Bama might be back next year because they got rid of the Nerf himself, Jalen Milroe.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me. I got to tell you guys this, and this goes for everybody in the comments as well. I want to make everybody on here well known about this fact. We had a conversation with Jared about Jared the Vandy fan about his Alabama takes and where he thinks Alabama's going to be. He's got him going, what, 8-4 this year? And yes,
I think it was 7-5. I think it was 7-5.
7-5. And yes, the question that everybody's asking, I'll answer it now. He's got Bama losing to Vandy at home.
Of course he does. Are you surprised?
Well, I mean, Diego Pavia does own people from Alabama. He does own the state of Alabama. Last time I checked.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna beat Alabama at Bryant-Denny. Come on,
No, he
that ain't
is.
happening. That just ain't happening.
If it does actually happen, though, that would be the funniest thing ever.
Oh, it'd be hilarious, but it's,
be
The
absolutely
only reason I don't
hilarious.
really want it to happen is just because I don't want Vanderbilt fans, because I know we'll probably lose to him in Bryant-Denny. Well, we have a more recent win in Tuscaloosa than Tennessee. That'll be the only bad thing about it.
I agree. Goop says just sleep through the storms. Yep. There it is. The old, if you're homeless, buy a home ad logic.
Buy a home, build a home.
Wait, what was... I think I remember saying something like that on the podcast before. I went on like a whole rant like that. It was like homeless, buy a home.
Yep.
Recruiting bad, buy a recruit.
Yeah, if you don't have a girlfriend, go get a girlfriend.
I mean, it's that easy. Squid, you're an idiot. Just sleep through the
Yeah.
storms.
If
Jeez.
if you're broke, just go get money.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you can do that. It's just called robbing someone.
Let's not.
That was the first thought.
The
Not
fact
go
that
get
that
a
was the
job.
first thought is yeah, I don't know what to think about you, Julio. It's a little concerning.
Not go get a job. Rob somebody. All right.
And I'm just here sitting like,
Why, man? Why? My day is now ruined.
5-1.
My day is now ruined.
That was a joke, by the way.
obviously. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and actually wrap this show up. Anthony.
Oh, I was gonna make a Carson
Oh.
Beck joke.
Oh, go ahead, please.
I mean, you could just take somebody's Lamborghini,
That's very true. You absolutely could do that.
and it technically can be used as a home, technically.
Maybe. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Anthony, John, Ryan. Good luck in the Final Four against Auburn. I can't say I'll
Thank
be
you,
rooting for you because you guys are all great Florida fans, but unfortunately, not all of you are like that. So, but Barner's just the same way. So, just
It's
all
okay.
I can say
There's,
is best of luck.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Meteor.
I was about to say I had about that thought in mind. At least with us, we have likable players. Auburn, no.
Very true.
Oh, I
very
hate
true.
Chad Baker Mazzaro or whatever his name is. Oh my
Chad
God, I
Baker.
hate him.
Yeah.
The broom.
Yeah, Chad Bitcher Mazzara.
Thank you. And we have Walter Clayton and Aussie and Thomas Howell. I think lives right in Amish country.
Exactly.
So
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. Appreciate all of y'all for being on here. Hope to see you on the show again. John, good to see you, buddy.
good to see you too.
See you later. Ryan, good to see you on the show, man.
Adios.
Appreciate you for being on. Anthony, thank you for being on the show, man. Looking forward to seeing you
Thank
again.
you. And thank you. I'll definitely try to be on. And Squid, please accept my my engagement proposal, please. We need to get married soon.
Oh, okay. We'll arrange that after the
Okay.
show.
Thank you.
So romantic.
I know, right? Let's see if I can get the layout. Attack gummit. There we go. All right. Now we're back as we should be. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all of you guys for being on here tonight. Appreciate the guests, and of course, appreciate all you guys in the comment section for being on here on the show tonight. This has been one of our longest running shows, an hour and 45 minutes. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go right to bed because I am exhausted. Lucas, Julio, got anything else you want to say before we call it wraps?
Just go Vols, tighten up. Hopefully, baseball team
Does
just keeps it up. Same with the softball team, and I guess better luck next year to both our men's and women's basketball teams. And yeah, I'm going to bed too because I gotta open again.
I hear
All
you.
right. Same thing as Lucas. He took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. So that's it. And that, I guess that's it.
They should move the Titans to Linden. John, shut up.
And of course, shout out to our channel members. I'm going to shout them out real quick. Jolena Renji, Tyler Heller, Wolf Allreen, Young Man Connor, EVX, Randman, 9988899, Sifs, and SEC Football Tube. I think there's one more that joined, and he's not on this list. I don't understand why he's not on there. What in the world's that about? We're going to fix that soon. I'll give him a special shout out on the next stream that we do. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being on here tonight. We'll see y'all again next Monday. Love each and every one of you. And, of course, as we all know, hopefully the Vols get it together at some point in the future. Until next time, power to Tard area. And, of course, go Vols. And we'll see you all on Monday. Unless you're on Tard area Tuesdays, and we'll see you then tomorrow.